Are you thinking about moving to Cedar Park, Texas? Well, today I have a great treat for you. We're going to check out 4 different neighborhoods in 4 different price points. We're going to start at the $2 million price point, then we're going to go down to the $1 million price point, then we're going to go to the $500,000 price point, and then we're going to go down to the $300,000 price point so that you can see the wide variety of options and possibilities in Cedar Park. My name is Jeremy Critt. I'm a licensed real estate broker here in the greater Austin area. If this is your first time to the channel, do me a favor, click that subscribe button, click the notification bell so that when there are new developments happening here in the greater Austin area, you're going to be the first to know. I help people every day, just like you, make a move to Austin or sell or invest here in the area. So if that's you, feel free to get in touch, call me, leave a text message, schedule a Zoom call, whatever works for you. I look forward to connecting. All right, let's go. So we're starting in Breakaway Park. Now, Breakaway Park is really one of the most unique neighborhoods in Cedar Park. It's so unique that actually many people living here in Cedar Park don't even know it exists. I actually became familiar with this neighborhood because when I first started in real estate, I was at a brokerage office that's literally located right around the corner. And I remember I discovered it by accident as I was walking around taking a break. So I'm just walking down the street here in Breakaway Park, and you might be wondering, well, what makes this place so special? Well, all of these homes here that you see here behind me and around me, they are circling a private airport, a very, very small private airport, you know, like Cessnas, these kinds of planes. And so if you live in Breakaway Park, most of these houses in here have privileges to be able to use the Airstrip and have a hangar. You do pay a little fee for that. Maybe it's not a little fee, but you do pay a fee for that. And so if you love aviation, this is a pretty cool neighborhood because you can have a beautiful home. All these homes are very, very high-end homes, very large and luxurious homes on very big lots. And so you can live in a nice house. You can be very close to Austin, Texas. You have all the amenities of Cedar Park, and you can fly your plane and store your plane here. You can literally just get out of bed and go take a flight. All of these houses are just absolutely spectacular. They all sit on these very large lots. They're ranch style homes. Many of them are 1-story. There are some 2-story houses here, but many of them are 1-story, and they're just grand. And you know, you can just see all of the very nice architectural elements that you don't see in a lot of homes that are at a lower price point. For example, look at the roofs here. A lot of the roofs here in Texas are, you know, composite shingle. These are, you know, ceramic, very nice ceramic tile roofs. And you can just see, look at that driveway there on this house that we're coming up on. You know, just a grand entryway, 3-car garage. I mean, these are just really, really beautiful homes. Here's another beautiful home. This is really nice. I mean, look at this. Look at the elevation of this house, the peaks of the roof. This has a full metal roof. Very, very nice. All of these homes have very nice architectural elements, and they're all custom homes. Now, right in front of me is the Airstrip. And you can see it right here. This is where planes would land and take off. And it's not uncommon on a sunny day like this to, you know, see a Cessna or these small aircraft, you know, taking off and landing here. You can hear it in the air if you're in the area. So the people who live here, they just love aviation. This is like an aviator's dream. You literally wake up in the morning and take off and you're good to go. So let's go ahead now and let's drive down one of the main streets here in Breakaway Park. I'm just going to shoot this from my car so you can see the neighborhood. Let's go take a look. All right, so we're just walking here in Breakaway Park, and as I'm walking around the neighborhood, I see here a house for sale, and maybe I'll just turn around here so that you can see it here right behind me. So this house is behind me. You see it right here. It's listed for $2.4 million, and it's a 4-bed, 4-bath, 4,446 square foot home. So this is a massive home. It's really, really big. It has privileges for the airport. I just checked it right now on the MLS. So, you know, if you live here, you have an airplane, maybe a small aircraft, you can rent a hangar, you can wake up in the morning, take your flight, come back for lunch, take another flight. But you can see just really, really nice. And actually, let me just flip this around here real quick so you can see it. Okay, here it is. Beautiful home. I mean, just look at this house. It's got a beautiful driveway, just a beautiful one-story ranch-style house. This is really in a beautiful area of Cedar Park, and it's so convenient. I mean, you really can't get more convenient than this, because literally if I just go down the street and make a right, I've got a gas station, I've got restaurants. But when you're walking on this street, and this is what really strikes me about Breakaway Park, it is just very quiet. I can hear birds chirping. I don't hear any car traffic from Palmer Avenue, which is, you know, somewhat behind these, not directly behind these houses, but just a little bit further out. I can't hear anything. This is like paradise in Cedar Park. If you've got the money, this is such an amazing neighborhood. And if you like planes, aviation, this is the place. This is a very, very unique community. There's really kind of nothing like it in the greater Austin area. All right, let's now go to the next one. Okay, now we're going to go into Ranch at Brushy Creek. We're going to go into the $1 million price point. Ranch at Brushy Creek is a really cool subdivision here in Cedar Park. It's pretty much completely built out now, and there's actually a wide variety of price points in Ranch at Brushy Creek, but we're going to go to an area, a section of the subdivision that has $1 million homes, and we can just kind of see what $1 million gets you here in Cedar Park in a nice little subdivision like Ranch at Brushy Creek. Let's go check it out. Okay, we're here on the sidewalk in Ranch at Brushy Creek, and we're going to a home that's currently listed for $1.3 million. I'm just going to flip this around so that you can see it. And this is actually a really nice home. It's actually in a subdivision, very quiet. You can see some neighbors here that are playing some basketball, and just a very quiet neighborhood, really nice mature trees. Ranch at Brushy Creek is a pretty much completely built out community. It's not that old, but it is old enough where the trees have matured a bit, which is nice. This house that we're kind of looking at right now is actually 4,513 square feet, 5 beds, 4.5, 4.5 baths, 4,500 square feet. That's a really big home, built in 2017. So this is 1.3 million in Cedar Park. What do you think? Could you see yourself living here? One of the things I really like about Cedar Park is that you have these neighborhoods that are really tucked away, but it's so convenient because you just come out of one of these subdivisions and you got everything. You've got restaurants, you've got all kinds of doctors, commercial. So this is really a great area in Cedar Park. This is, again, a pricier section, but there are some areas in Ranch at Brushy Creek that go into 800, 700, even as low as 600. But like I said, we're in a section here that's pretty much a $900,000 million section. So that gives you an idea. Let's walk around a little bit. You can take a look at the houses from the street view. And then what we'll also do is we'll just drive around, and so, you know, you can take a look, you know, in case you're ever thinking about coming out here. All right, let's go ahead, let's get in the car, and I'm gonna drive around and we'll see some more houses, see what the streets look like, and all of that. Let's go. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna drive around Ranch at Brushy Creek, and I just wanna give you a sense of what this subdivision looks like, the feel for some of the other homes that are in here. And then when we come back, we will be in the Anderson Mill, Cypress Mill neighborhoods, and there we'll see kind of what houses look like at the $500,000 price point. And it'll be fun. We'll look at one house that is for sale. We'll just kind of do a drive-by and maybe walk around, and then we'll move on to the $300,000 price point. So we're really getting a good sense of Cedar Park and what it has to offer, and the different price levels. You know, everyone's at a different budget, and that's okay. You know, we just want to make sure that, you know, if you're thinking about coming here, you kind of know where to look. So let's go take a look. Okay, I'm here in Cypress Mill, and I'm just walking down the street. And by the way, it's really a wonderful day today. I just really can't express to you how nice it is out here. It's just a blue sky. It's cool. It's slightly below 70 degrees, and it just feels fantastic. You can be out here in a short sleeve shirt, and it's not cold, it's not hot, it's just perfect. So anyway, I'm here on the street, and I just came across a listing here as I was walking by, and I'll just turn it around. And this is a house that's listed currently for $560,000, and it's 2,322 square feet, 4-bed, 2-bath. And this is very typical of this area here in Cedar Park, and it's really a beautiful home. I mean, look at that masonry. Looks like they got a new roof here, but very nice. This is a very typical ranch-style house that you can find here in Cypress Mill. Cypress Mill and Anderson Mill in Cedar Park are very similar, but this is pretty much what you would get for around the $500,000 price point. And I just love these neighborhoods. This Cypress Mill, I'm getting tongue-tied here. This Cypress Mill and Anderson Mill neighborhood area is very nice. It's one of the more mature areas in Cedar Park. It's one of the more mature subdivisions. You can see the trees. Look at this tree here. Look at this amazing tree here. I mean, the trees here are just very mature, very lush. It just makes the neighborhood have a lot of character. That house that we were looking at has beautiful trees as well. Just look at those trees, beautiful. And these are not in bloom yet. You can see actually, if you look at the trees, it's starting to bud now. So this will be just absolutely magnificent, fabulous when spring comes around. So let's keep going. Let's take a look here. We can see the street here. Where are we? We're at Little Elm and Dove. Little Elm and Dove. So if you ever come into Cedar Park and you want to find out where this place is, there you have it right there. Dove and Little Elm. It's right across the street from this beautiful green space. It looks like they have like a little soccer field thing set up here, and you can see some kids playing in the background. Just a beautiful neighborhood. I mean, this is really, you really can't ask for more living in Cedar Park, Texas. This is truly one of the iconic neighborhoods of Cedar Park. I know when I first came to the greater Austin area, I actually moved to Cedar Park. So actually I know Cedar Park very, very well. And Anderson Mill Road and all the surrounding areas just has a more mature feel to it. And this is a great place if you have a family with kids that need to go to a school. There's wonderful schools here. If you're a professional that wants to live in a nice house and have quick access to Austin, this is a great neighborhood. Just very quiet, peaceful. No matter who you are, this is a neighborhood that is bound to make you happy. Super comfortable, quiet. I just love walking down this street. You just really get the feel of just homeowners that take pride of ownership. They care about their neighborhood. They care about their houses. And it's just lovely. Let me flip it around here so that you can take a look. Look at this, look at this. Look at these trees. Just a wonderful neighborhood. This is a major road, but if you go down into some of these smaller roads, it just gets quieter. And like I said, I just love the maturity of these streets. It just has that feeling of like, hey, this neighborhood's been here for a while, and I'm here to stay. So I love it. I really think Cedar Park is one of those suburbs that really has everything. It has great places to live. It's got great places to entertain yourself. There's Town Center, which we're going to get to here after our time here. There's the HEB Sports Center, where they have concerts and hockey and things like that. There are parks. There are so many parks in Cedar Park. It's Cedar Park. Maybe it's park because there's so many parks. There's just so many things to do, and it's nice to keep the city clean, nice. The police department here in Cedar Park, they're very active. What I mean by that is that you can just really tell that Cedar Park is just very, very in tune with keeping the neighborhood nice and friendly. And that's something that I think the residents here really appreciate. So overall, Cedar Park is such a great place to live. And let's just walk around a little bit more and see some of these houses. It'll just really give you a sense of the neighborhood. And again, these are just very typical homes in this area. There's a good mix of 2-story and 1-story ranch-style homes. Lots of masonry, brick, just really nice houses, very traditional looking houses for Texas. So one of the things that I've noticed as we've been going around is that a lot of the houses on the resale market in this area tend to have a little bit of deferred maintenance. And that's, of course, any time that you're going to go for resale, there's always going to be a little bit of deferred maintenance, usually of some kind. But in the Cypress Mill, Anderson Mill area, I do notice that more of the homes in this area tend to need a little bit of work, and that's something to think about. And there's really two ways to think about that. So the first is that if you're looking for totally turnkey move-in ready, it might be a little bit more difficult to find something like that here. But if you want a little bit of a project, or you want to kind of really make that home just the way you want it, these homes really provide you a nice canvas to be able to make some upgrades and to renovate as you desire. So that's just something to think about in here. Again, there are some turnkey homes, but I noticed that here in this area in particular, these homes are a little bit older, and a lot of the owners have tried to keep it up. I mean, definitely when I'm driving around here, what I see is a lot of homes that are well kept, the yards are well kept, but I've noticed when I look at some of these listings, they need a little bit of work. Not a whole bunch, but they need a little bit of work. So that's something you need to think about if you're thinking about buying in here. All right, well, that's Cypress Mill and the Anderson Mill area. Now let's head to Town Center. Now I want to talk a little bit about Town Center, because for me, Town Center is kind of one of the crown jewels of Cedar Park. And I think it's important to point out that Cedar Park doesn't really have a real center or main street like some of these other Texas towns, but Town Center really is one of the central areas for Cedar Park in terms of commercial and residential and civic kinds of things going on in the city. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Town Center subdivision. In Town Center, we'll see the $300,000 price point homes that I'd like to show you. And also, the Town Center subdivision is very unique because it has a little bit of a different design from other kinds of houses that you'll find in Cedar Park, and I'll point that out when we're there. We'll also take a look at the Cedar Park Recreation Center, and there's a beautiful park there. And then we'll check out the Town Center commercial area where there's tons of shopping and restaurants. So I'm looking forward to showing that to you. Okay, so we are now driving into Cedar Park Town Center, and we're actually going over a little bridge that goes over a small lake, and we're going right in here. It has this beautiful clock tower that kind of greets you as you come in, and we're on a street called Discovery, and Discovery is basically the main drag that goes through this subdivision. The larger houses in this subdivision are actually along Discovery. I actually used to live in this neighborhood, so I know it quite well. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go to this house that's for sale that's in the $300,000 price point, just so that we can really, again, just get that range of what's possible in Cedar Park. But you can see this neighborhood just has this beautiful street that goes through it with this wonderful green belt. And I've seen people have picnics out here and just kids flying kites and whatnot. It's just a beautiful little area. You can walk your dog here. You can just really enjoy yourself here in Town Center. Now, one of the things I want you to notice, and you can't really see it now, but this subdivision has the garages in the back of the house, so you can get to the garage through an alley access. And we're going to just go in here, and you're going to have a better look at what's going on here. And what I like about this kind of design is that it keeps the streets cleaner. It keeps less traffic and less cars on the street, although I can see quite a few cars out right now in front of the house, but typically there's just less cars that are on the street when you see the garages in the back of the house. So if you look here, we're going to drive down the neighborhood, and you can see here there's no front-facing garage. The garages are in the back of these houses, and maybe what we'll do is we'll swing around so that we can see what one of these back alleys looks like.
Let's see here. Let's just swing in right here. All right. So here you can see, now we're at the back of the house and you can see all the garages. So when you're kind of coming home, you just come to this back alley, you park in the garage or in your small driveway here, and you're good to go. But it keeps the front of the house just looking really nice. I mean, it just has these nice porches where you can just hang out. I think it's a little bit more pedestrian friendly. So I do see a lot of people walking through town center. I see a lot more walking than in other neighborhoods because of that fact. But here you can see one of these alleys. Let me just swing this around so you can kind of see what this looks like. So you can just see, there's a lot of uniformity in this neighborhood. The HOA has very strict rules about how everything should look like. So you can see these white PVC style fences that surround the backyard. And you do got to be a little bit careful driving through here, just because, this is a narrow alleyway. Just got to make sure that you're not going to bump into a neighbor when you're coming out of your house here. But you can see it has a very different look on the back of the house versus if we go to the front of the houses. We'll just go through this little roundabout. And this subdivision is really cool because it has a lot of little roundabouts like this, with also parks tucked in here and there. There's several little parks tucked in these roundabouts and these little areas here in town center. But here you can see there's like these walkways where you can walk, in front of many different houses with no street. So here you can see a little park. This is like very typical of town center. So you see some houses here, you see some front houses over there, and then you have a park in between. There's no street going in front of these houses. And so this is a very unique configuration or design neighborhood layout. And some people really like it, other people don't like it as much, but I'm kind of a fan. Let's go down this street here. You'll get a better sense of the front of these houses. And a lot of these houses have, 3-side masonry. There is some 4-side masonry in here as well. It's typically masonry in the front, which is nice, gives it a little bit more of a premium feel. But look at these houses. These are just beautiful houses. And this is just a very quiet neighborhood. And one of the cool things I love about this neighborhood is that it's near town center shopping area. And we're going to check that out a little bit later. But the town center shopping area has everything. It's got Costco, it's got Whole Foods, it has Starbucks. So this is a very convenient place to live. In fact, if you're okay living in a little bit of a smaller home, town center may just be the most convenient subdivision in all of Cedar Park. So we're walking down a sidewalk in town center in Cedar Park, and I'm just going to flip this around so that you can see some of these houses. Now, a house in this section in town center is going to be in the mid to high 300,000 price range. And these homes are a little bit smaller than what we've been looking at. They can be as low as around 1,500 square feet all the way up to 1,900 square feet. But you can see kind of how it looks, the design here. Again, these have back-facing garages, and so like we were talking about earlier, one of the cool things about that is that you get these little balconies. It's very pedestrian friendly, not as many cars out on the street where you would walk in front of the houses. So that's kind of a really cool look. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cross the street here, and there's a house for sale. And then I'll tell you a little bit about this house just so that you can get an idea of what you can buy here in Cedar Park in the mid to high $300,000 price range. One of the cool things about this neighborhood is that I'm really familiar with it because I used to live in here. When I first came to the greater Austin area, I lived in Cedar Park, and I wasn't a homeowner back then. I was living in an apartment that's not too far from here, and I used to walk through here all the time. So we're just coming up against this house. It's actually this blue house right in front of us. By the way, can you see the trees? It's just a much more mature look in this neighborhood. And this house that we're about to look at, this is actually a 1,840 square foot house, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, $380,000. So just take a look here. So this could be yours for $380,000. $80,000. It's a cute house, very typical for the neighborhood. And I think that one of the real draws to living in this neighborhood really is being next to a lot of the convenience of town center commercial. I'll call it the commercial park. It actually doesn't have a real name. Really, in my opinion, this is one of the most convenient areas to live in terms of being around things. By the way, we're also near the HEB sports arena. So this is just a really good place to be in terms of location. If you need a bigger house, unfortunately, it's a little bit hard to find really close to this location. But if you like what town center looks like, if you're willing to wait for a house to pop up on Discovery, where there's a little bit more larger houses, then this might be for you. I'm a little bit obsessed with trees, if you haven't noticed in these videos. All right, can you see this? This is very typical of town center. So you've got these houses here, you've got this roundabout, and then you've got this park right here, this little park, and there's a little doggy station there so that you can keep everything clean. And then look at the rows of houses here. This is just a really cute neighborhood. I really like it. The houses are a little bit small for my personal taste, but they are very, very nice in terms of, just the overall community layout. And I've been in several of these houses, and you can really do a lot with these houses. You can really fix them up nice just to how you like it, and it would work just fine for a lot of people. What we're going to do now is we are going to go to the town center area where there's all the shops. I forgot to mention, they have In-N-Out there too. I'm a huge In-N-Out fan. I grew up in California originally, so if you're coming out from California, I've got your back. California is, that's the home of In-N-Out. But In-N-Out is right there next to Costco. So again, just points to the convenience of town center. I'm a huge fan of town center for location. I really think you can't beat it. And I think when I go to that commercial area, you'll start to understand what I mean. It's just super convenient, super nice. You can walk there from here as well. So this is, I would say, this is maybe one of the most walkable areas of Cedar Park as well. So yeah, let's go take a look. So I just want to give you an idea of kind of what I was talking about a moment ago about the convenience of living in town center. So we're right here on the corner of Discovery and Alamo Plaza, and I'm actually in the subdivision now, and I'm just driving straight into the town center shopping area. So we're just gonna stop here. Gotta be very careful here, a lot of cars. Okay, and then we're gonna go in, and we're now heading into the shopping center. A little bit of traffic. Right now it's about 4:30 p.m. on a Thursday, so the rush hour traffic has kind of started, but we're just gonna go here and we're just gonna drive around, and we're just gonna kind of take a look at some of the shops that are in here. And you can see, I literally just drove from the subdivision right into this shopping center. You can go just right into it. And if you can see here in front of me, we have a DSW, we have a Nordstrom rack right here, okay. And then next to Nordstrom rack, we have some shops. We have, let's see here, Ultra Beauty, we have Talbot's Outlet, and then here we have Whole Foods, which is a biggie. Very convenient right here, and there's a juice land in there and all the stuff that you would normally find in a Whole Foods. And then right in front of us, you can see Starbucks right in front of us here. We're gonna drive right by Starbucks here. Okay, and here you can see a Marshall's in front of us, and Michael's, and Lazy Boy. So now I have a little bit of a bonus for you. I'm here at the Cedar Park Recreation Center, and one of the cool things about Cedar Park is that Cedar Park has a lot of public services and a lot of parks and recreation. And one of the crown jewels of Cedar Park is this recreation center. And I'm gonna flip this around so that you can see it. So right here, this building that I'm showing you, this is a public gym and meeting area. and there's tons of stuff in there. You can rent out space. So this is really cool. This is super cheap, and the gym is quite good in here. This is actually a very, very good gym. You could go to, I don't know what the, I used to be a member of this gym. I don't know what it is now, but it's super, super cheap. And then there's this huge park. Look at this, look at this, look at how big this is. There's a lake here. There's a sculpture park. So this is actually the Cedar Park Sculpture Garden. You can see all the sculptures here. And then if you look out over here, actually just to give you some orientation, the town center is over here, the town center subdivision. There's the town center commercial shop area. And you can see way in the distance 183. And then here you have this wonderful park. Right now, we're just kind of getting out of winter into spring, so things are still a little bit gray. It's not as green as it usually will be, but once we get into spring, this will be very green, lots of flowers, lots of colors in here, and we'll just get a little bit closer to the water. We'll just walk a little bit here. There's these beautiful sculptures. Look at these sculptures, very cool art. And it's not uncommon during the spring and summer for there to be public events here in this area. I've seen concerts in here. I've seen food trucks. I've seen all kinds of things throughout the years in this area. So here we're just walking down this path, and you can see this these people here with this child walking towards us. It just gives you really a sense of the environment. This is really a nice place where you can go and relax and just get the load off your mind after a hard day's work. And when it warms up a little bit, you'll see a lot of people exercise here, run, ride bikes. I've even seen people do fishing in here, but I don't think they allow fishing. I don't think that's allowed. We'll see if there's no fishing signs in here. But you can see on the other side the people walking, and it's just a really nice park. This is really the nicest park in Cedar Park. Not only does it have nice water features, but it's got this really nice walking trail where you can also ride your bike. And oh, it looks like I do see someone fishing here. Let's see if we can ask this person what kind of fish are in here. You can see a little fountain there. There's a little dam thing over there. But just take a look. Just take a look, and could you see yourself living here? I know that when I lived in the town center area, I would come here daily, all year round, just because it's just so nice. Let's walk to this guy. Let's see if he can give us some information about the lake here. You need a fishing license? Okay. Very cool. Have you caught things in here before? Cool. Good luck. Oh, really? Let's see if we can take a look. There's a fish right there. Sorry, I'm making a little video here for YouTube. Where's the fish? Where is it? Oh, yeah. Are you going after that one?
Yeah.
Very cool. Oh, yeah. Very cool. All right, awesome. You can see people are super friendly, super nice. That's one of the things I like about Cedar Park, Texas. Cedar Park, Texas is just, I haven't really met a lot of rude people in Cedar Park. I mean, everyone's very nice. It's just a very family-friendly community kind of atmosphere. I think Cedar Park is very special. I honestly think this might be my favorite suburb in the greater Austin area. No offense to all the other areas, but I just think Cedar Park, it really does have a homey vibe to it. And I think if you were ever to come here, even just to visit, you definitely would feel that. Wow, we covered a lot of ground in this video. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks for coming along with me. Listen, don't forget to press that subscribe button, okay? Whenever you want to know anything that's happening with real estate in the Austin, Texas area, you want to see houses, you want to know what's going on, I'm going to tell you about it. I look forward to seeing you. Give me a comment, interact with me. I want to talk with some of you guys. So, leave me a comment, let me know. Reach out through email, text message, Zoom. And again, if you're moving to the Austin area, I'm happy to help you. Talk to you soon. Thanks. Catch you later.